Hello everyone. Today is September 29, 2011. I have here Mr. Chia, Mr. Sunny Chia, and Mr. Teck Siong. Together we are recording a special video dedicated to commemorate our late friend J B Jeyaretnam, and he left us 3 years ago. Tomorrow, 30th September, is his 3rd anniversary of his passing. And this man has brought Singapore unprecedented changes, and I'm inviting everyone to remember him, commemorate him together with us. Mr. would like to say a few words first?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Yap, for having us here to mark the 3rd anniversary of his passing. And with me is my friend, Mr. Sunny. Now, Mr. J B Jeyaretnam is a very special person. Not only just a politician, he is also in life show his humility about how to be humble, and as a politician, he really fight and want to see that the interests of the country and the people are being served, rather than to have the elitism, have more favoritism and more interest and more protected their interests. And in this fact, JB stands for truth, justice, equality, and fairness. This idea is and principle are very simple, but to do it is quite complicated. But he is the man who will never say die unless the society, the political power that the people should be having should be serving them. But instead today, we see that the power of the people are not being properly handled. So therefore, in this sense, JB is unique. As a politician, going through all the difficulty, the trouble, even the fighting of the big gigantic power of the PAP, he still carry on. And the worst thing that he faced many suit from the ministers and the MP. Not only one time, but 3 times. That was in 1981, 86, and the last one was in 1997. All this have made him a bankrupt, and yet he never gave up. He still carry on fighting. And as a friend of him, knowing him for the last 30 years, I have not even seen him give up, and that is the result that he inspired me to approach him to help him. But before I can help him, I told him that he should write the 2 books. The first one was the Make It Right for Singapore. The second one was the Hatchet Man of Singapore. Due to these 2 books, he was able to gather and collect enough money and fund to pay off his bankruptcy, come back and become a practicing lawyer again. That was how I went through this 9 years with him, selling the book on the 5-foot way of every nook and corner of Singapore, from Center Point to Jurong to Changi to Arcade and all this area we went through for the last 9 years, 2001 to 2009, before he died. And the one thing that this man, we should admire him, is he fight for his idea until the last day of his life. And tomorrow mark the 30th September, the day he passed away. And I hope the public will share with us to remember this great icon in the opposition camp.
Yes, I have a minor correction for Mr. Teck Siong that it's not until 2009, but it's until September 30th, 2008, because that's when he passed away.
Yeah.
He was fighting up to the very last day that he was. I remember he was so busy in the court and you will meet
Yes,
him.
that's right.
He was back into his legal practice, and while his heart wasn't able to take it already, he still pushed his health quite hard, and he was then fighting to have a by-election in Bukit Batok, where the MP, what was his name?
Ong Chi-chong.
Ong Chi-chong, he passed away. He was trying to have in court to hear that a by-election was necessary in Bukit Batok, that he, Mr. J.B.J, wanted to contest. I come to Mr. Chia first. Let Mr. Chia have a few words first, then before I say. Mr. Chia.
Thank you, Hugo. Mr. Teck Siong spent altogether 9 years in JB. JB was made bankrupt around 2.2 million. And yet, Teck Siong and JB went round the whole Singapore to beg and sell the tickets. And slowly they pay out the bankruptcy state by state, installment by installment. The last installment, about 400,000, JB wrote to ask for a reduction, and they agreed. So they had to pay about 200,000. But we still, the 200,000 still short, about 31,000. And Teck Siong come out, took the money from his pocket and paid in full. And he took that money, go to the receiver or trustee officer to pay in full. After paying full, JB will restore as a lawyer, a respectful lawyer, and go back to his first love, law, as a lawyer. I even wrote a letter to the Chief Justice asking him to promote JB as senior counsel. But I get no answer from that.
Was it Yong Bang Hao or was it
No.
Chan Sik Kyong?
Chan Sik Kyong.
Okay, that was the.
I wrote a letter there, telling him say he spent more than 40 over years in the court.
Legal.
This is love, and also he paid out his $2.2 million bankruptcy in full. You know, and he loved the judicial system very much, the court system very much, and yet the court people, especially the Chief Justice, did not reply me to promote him to be a senior counsel. Don't you think something wrong somewhere?
As a man so profound in law, with a background of very senior lawyer and even a judge of district court and also the registrar of the Supreme Court, the London Privy Council have found that Singapore judiciary have done J.B.J a lot of injustice, and yet this man still believed in law. He has so much love and faith with law that he abide by it all the time. Unlike me, I will defy. I will fight in a different way. Something to add, Mr.
That's
You see, Mr. Teck Siong took him round the whole Singapore. One motive is to lay up his bankruptcy. Second motive is to show to all Singaporeans that there's racial harmony, practice racial harmony. It is a secret. That's why when Teck Siong standing for election, I got no money. Because J B Jeyaretnam, before he passed away, I gave Teck Siong the pointer. If I die, you go back to Tanjung Bakar to fight up. But Teck Siong said, I got not enough money. Just few hours, he said like that, money keep on flying in. When Teck Siong go to Tanjung Bakar, the Minister Center, the people took out the money step by step, give it to Teck Siong in front of Lee Kuan Yew, in front of few hundred BAP supporters, took the money, give it to Teck Siong, more than 100,000. And even ask Teck Siong, enough or not? Not enough, let me know.
Well, we keep the subject to J.B.J. for this.
Yeah. The thing about Mr. J B Jeyaretnam is when he confront his problem and his difficulty, he never even show any sign of giving up, because he realized that what he is fighting for is very important a mission to be given up so easily. And having been a chief district judge, he found that if a country have no rule of law, it is not going to be very pleasant for the ordinary citizen. That is why he want to have the idea of check and balance system in Singapore, the separation of power, so that to ensure that ordinary people who bring their case to the court will be able to get justice. And at the present moment, I think as a Singaporean, our judiciary still have a lot to improve. Thank you.
Most of the Singapore people, they are very grateful to J B Jeyaretnam. And do you know why? Because he fought for the people of Singapore. People who applying for 5-room flat, get a 5-room flat or 4-room flat, they have to go to certain legal firm, especially legal firm, to pay.
Let me bring it in front of the camera.
The 500, 750 is for the 5-room and 500 for the 4-room. But J B Jeyaretnam said, how can such thing happen? It's between the government and the people. He shouldn't bring a lawyer inside. And for that, J B Jeyaretnam was totally in trouble. Give the dog, he said, because he's fighting for the people of Singapore. But the dog people don't like it. Give the dog a name, they kill. That's what happened to J B Jeyaretnam in Sui until he totally went. That's why people are grateful. They know Teck Siong carry out the wish of J B Jeyaretnam went to Tanjung Bakar to compete.
That is right, Mr.
That's why the people support. Whether they are Indian, Malay, Chinese, they come out. But strength come out the strength. But money come out the money. That's why Teck Siong successfully get enough fund to contest the last election in Tanjung Bakar, according to the last wish of J B Jeyaretnam.
I remember JB, that he is the man who made a big breakthrough of PAP monopoly in Anson.
1981.
Today, in 2011, 3 years after his passing, we see in Parliament that one fallen PAP GRC, WP retained Hougang, and there are several NCMP. These all can be traced back from the day this man broke through in Anson, because prior to that, the whole Parliament were monopolized by one party, Lee Kuan Yew's PAP. And this man gave us the breakthrough. Without that, we are not here today. Remember, the first breakthrough is always the most challenging, most difficult, the most significant contribution. And one more election is very strong chance that we will see a change, further change. Because in the presidential election, PAP almost lost just by a difference of 7,000 something, less than 8,000 votes. Although JB isn't here, but he's watching over the whole fight. He's a star above our Singapore, watching over us to see this fight. He knows, and I believe he's happy. He's left us for 3 years, but always in our heart. Even the PAP respect him. There's only one J B Jeyaretnam, and I don't think we will have another in Singapore
to replace him.
Yes, he's so unique, and it's J.B.J. forever. Every one of the past 3 years on the anniversary, I try to do something to commemorate him. Today is this video, and there will be something about this poster. I will not announce on this video, but when it was done, I will post the video on the internet. Anything that you two gentlemen like to add?
We must always remember J.B. Jeyaretnam. He broke through the parliament. So that's one part. The power concentrated on one person. J.B. had challenged it, and he did well. Today he passed away after 3 years. Do you remember the PAP passed the abortion law? Do you know Dr. To Ching Chai in Parliament make it very clear that 25,000 baby be butchered, unborn baby be butchered every year. After this, Dr. To Ching Chai is no more in Parliament anymore. But I hope. Now JB already passed away. He going to the other side of the world. Delete all this premature soul. They will come back. Give us strength to fight back. The one-man power. The one-man power must be given to the people power. That is the wish of J B Jeyaretnam.
Must be replaced by the people's power.
So we are glad to see that the family regime is already receding through these years, and it will be further. When JB had his wake, I went in front of his casket and I made a promise that we, those who are still alive, will fight on and show progress to him. And we did. We fought on. The day the news came that he passed away, I was still fighting in court together with the other activists like Dr. G, Siok Chin was there, and I think Gandhi Abalam and a few other activists. We were facing charges in court. We applied for adjournment in the court to attend to our signature. Today, the court of Leji chose not to tender so much with us because we already got some result, and further we will forward, and Singapore will have further change. But as we make this progress, let us remember our fallen heroes, not just J.B.J. There are a lot of pioneers who contributed to the change in Singapore. Yes.
All these are men that we have to also appreciate and admire.
Yes. A lot of fallen men have fallen all the time. During this general election, 2011, I also highlight that an election agent of NSP, Goh Meng Seng's brother, David Goh, he worked so hard that he had died of heart attack during the election. These are Singapore's opposition's fallen heroes. So we must all remember. That's my word for today. So we thank you, and let's remember this man together.